Hiya, it's Daniel Madu here, and today I'll be talking you through my task one. What this task is pretty much asking me to do is create a program which converts a distance from kilometers into miles, and also making sure that the user can repeat the process using a loop. So that's just my pseudocode down there, and this is my whole program. So I started this program with a while true loop so that it keeps running until the user says stop. Then here I use the input function so that it asks the user to enter the distance in kilometers, and then here, like right here, I'll show you when I run the code, it will allow the user to type the distance they want converted. Then here, I use the float function to turn the text into numbers so that maths can be done, and then the conversion rate, which we can see here, is 0.621371. This is the miles variable which I've created for it. 1 kilometer equals this in miles. Then I multiply the two numbers to get the result in miles. Then after that, I use a print statement with an F string to show both values to two decimal places. And then the program asks if the user wants to convert another distance. If they say yes, it goes again. If it says no, it breaks, it ends the loop. So here I'll be showing you how I do that. So it says enter a distance in kilometers. Let's say 20.5. Oh, 20.5. It goes 20.5 equals 12.74 miles. Then here it says, do you want to convert another? Yes or no? Yes. And then it asks again. Let's see, do an easy one, 5 kilometers, 3.11 miles. Then ask again. We don't want to do it anymore. No. Thank you, goodbye. That's the end of the program. Next would be my task 2. And what this task is asking me to do is create a program which asks the user to enter a sentence. From that sentence, the program counts how many words they are, then calculates the average word length, and then identifies the longest word. So here I start by asking the user to enter a sentence. I then use the lower function so that everything is in lowercase, making it case insensitive. Then I split the sentence into separate words using a split function. These words are then stored inside the words variable. After that, I count how many words they are using the len function. Next, I count all the characters in the sentence, including spaces, so that I can work out the average word length later. I then use an if statement to make sure that the user actually types something in. If the word count is more than 0, I calculate the average word length by dividing the total number of characters by the number of words, and then I find the longest word using the max function with the key equals len. If nothing is typed, the average stays at like 0 to stop the program from crashing. Finally, I print all these statements out to like show the result. And here I'm going to show you how that runs. Enter a sentence. I like cats and dogs. Sometimes they can be mischievous. Give us a long word. Did I spell that correctly? Here the results are printed out. Sentence is I like cats and dogs, but sometimes they can be mischievous. Total words in the sentence 11. Average word length 5.45. Then the longest word is mischievous. Next, we've got task 3. And what this task is asking me to do is creating a program that creates a students and results text file and reads the names and grades from it, also checking if the file already exists. The program should also calculate the average mark and find the top grade. So first, I import the OS module so that I can check whether the file students.txt already exists. Then I create an empty dictionary called students to store each name and grade. If the file does exist, the program will display students text found. And because I was testing this earlier by clicking run, I do have a file already existing, so it will come up. But It then reads the file line by line using a loop. Then it splits each line into a name and grade, then stores that data into a dictionary. If the file doesn't exist when the program is run, it prints student's text not found. The program then creates a new file which the teacher can write in, asking for each student grade and name until the teacher decides to stop the loop. After collecting all the marks, I use the sum and len function to calculate the average mark, and also use the max function to find the student's highest grade. Finally, the program opens a new file called the results text file, and then it writes all the students' results and the average grade, then the top student's mark. When it's finished, it will print a message saying that the results have been saved successfully. Let's run this. So as I said, because I've tested students' text found, we'll just, so now students, data. Now let's run it. So as you can see, it's printed students' text not found. Please enter student's name or stop to finish. Then we click stop to stop entering the names and grades. Results saved to results.txt. Now if you go here, students, we can find a students file here. John, Chris, Hannah, Tom. Those are the grades. Then we go to the results file. John 75, average mark 85.25. Chris 82, average mark 85.25 again. Top student Hannah with 95%. Those are the results that are printed. So finally we got task 4, and what this task is asking me to do what this task is asking me to do is create a program that allows the user to manage their shopping cart. So I first start off my program by creating an empty list called shopping_cart, and what this is used for is to store each item that is added by the user. Next, I define a function called add_items, which asks the user for an item name and an item price. I then use float to convert the price from text into a number so it can be used in the calculations later on. I then store the name and price inside a dictionary and add that dictionary to the shopping_cart list. After an item is added, the program should print that the item was successfully added. The display cart function shows everything which is inside the shopping cart after it's added by the user. It also uses len to check whether the cart is empty, and if it isn't, it uses enumerate to number each item and print its name and price to 2 decimal places. The calculate total function loops through every item in the cart and adds all the prices together and returns it in the total cost. And in the main menu, I used if, elif, and else to control the user's choices. So if the user types 1, they can add an item. If the user types 2, it displays the cart, shows what's in the cart. And if they use type 3, it checks out and shows the total cost, and the loop is ended there. So I'm just going to run it and show how it runs. So we've got the options there, 1, 2, 3, add item, vcart, yep. So 1, enter an item name, milk, he doesn't need milk. Price. Inflation. Bread. Now let's view our shopping cart. So click option 2. So here, shopping cart, milk £2, cheese £3, bread £2.59, And let's check all this out. Total cost £7.59. Thank you for shopping. Loops ended there. But however, if we click an option that's not here, this is what happens to, wait, no, cheese. It gives us invalid choice. Please try 1, 2, or 3. So it reminds us that we need to choose from one of these choices.